will see the Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 13. Prayana kale manasachalena bhakta yukto yoga balena cheva bhrovar madhye pranam avesha samyakya sam tamam purusha upayati divyam. So one who at the time of death fixes his life hair between the eyebrows and in full devotion engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is mentioned what we must do at the time of death. So we must try to fix our mind between the eyebrows and we must engage himself in full devotion, remembering the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Krishna. So we have the examples. We will see example of the Vivekananda, how Vivekananda death has occurred. So when Vivekananda at the last moment we can see Vivekananda was a yogic person. We will see the example of the Vivekananda, how he embraced the death. Okay. So at 7 o'clock in the evening, the bell rang for worship in the chapel. Swami went to his room and told the disciples who attended him that none was to come until called for. So he instructed his disciples who no must come in the room he was meditating. He spent an hour in meditation and telling his beads, then called the disciple and asked him to open all the windows and fan his head. So after spending 1 hour in meditation, he called the disciples to open all the windows and to also fan his head. He lay down quietly on his bed and the attendant thought he was either sleeping or meditating. So he lay down on his bed. At the end of an hour, his hands trembled a little and he breathed once very deeply. There was a silence for a minute or two and again he breathed in the same manner. So this is the pranayama that we do. How do you control the breath? Inhale, exhale. His eyes become fixed in the center of his eyebrows. So that is important. So just now we have seen the Bhagavad Gita sloka. How we must fix. We must fix the life hair between the eyebrows. So that is how Vivekananda make his eyes between the center of the eyebrows. His face assumed a divine expression and eternal silence fell. There was, said a brother disciple of Vivekananda, a little blood in his nostril, about his mouth and his eyes. So some little blood came out of his nostril and his mouth. According to the yogic scriptures, the life breath of an illuminate yogi passes out through the opening on the top of the head, causing the blood to flow in the nostril and the mouth. So that is how the yogic person dies. In the pranayama, while controlling the breathing process, it tries to come out of this body. So when the yogic person dies, you can see here the soul coming out of the on top of the head. So this is how we can mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita what we must do at the time of the death. How a yogic person can make the soul to come out of the body and achieve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we must try to make the soul to come out of that on the top of the head through the yogic process. That is possible only when we do the yoga regularly. That is the pranayama, that is the inhaling the breath and exhaling the breath and controlling in between them. How do we achieve ourselves into that yogic process? So you can see here Vivekananda died at 10 minutes past 9. Swami Vivekananda passed away at the age of 39 years, 5 months and 24 days, thus fulfilling his own prophecy, I shall not live to be 40 years old. So that is always, Vivekananda does not want it to be live for above 40 years. He has already said to his disciples that he will not live for more than 40 years. So that is how we can learn the Bhagavad Gita slokas, that is how they are guiding us to live in this world. everybody knows how to come out of this world, but very few knows how to go out of this world. So we have the greatest yogis who are in this India, who have lived, and we have shown the people the path of spirituality. So one of them is the greatest Indian sannyasi Swami Vivekananda, who has shown us the spiritual world through his life. So we can see the death of Vivekananda, we can compare the Bhagavad Gita slokas, how we must die. Also some important words for India, he has said, India is immortal. He said, if she persists in search for God, but if she dies or goes in for politics and social conflict, she will die. So that is how we must make India immortal. That is the spirituality knowledge we must share, and we must guide the coming generation for the spirituality. That is how we can make India immortal. So that is how the Bhagavad Gita sloka is. Pranayana kale manasa chalena bhakta yukta yoga balena cheva brahar madhye pranam avesha samakyam sam tamam purusha upayati divyam. So at the time of death, we must fix the life hair between the eyebrows and in full devotion engage himself in remembering the Supreme Lord will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So reading the Bhagavad Gita slokas is very important. The greatest sannyasi Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya has also said, Bhagavad Gita, if we read a small script of Bhagavad Gita also, we have made the Ganges Lord, we have made we have drank the water of Ganges. So that is the slokas of Bhagavad Gita are like the Ganga water. Okay, that is how purity we can make our life by reading the Bhagavad Gita. So thank you all of you for watching this Bhagavad Gita channel.